Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pokemon Legends Arceus. It's time to confront Evil Volo.
He turns around, takes his hair off. It's red. It's always
standing
been
on the
red.
standing on top of the mountain.
I mean, there is a dramatic costume change.
You know, when the camera's angled like this with their eyes just off screen.
Like pillars turn to spears. Get it? Get it? What he's mentioning? Like a spear pillar.
I don't get it.
That's
Gen
the
4
name of this
reference.
place from Diamond and Pearl.
Oh. Anyway, I just had a massive DMC5 flashback.
So it's Volo's fault we actually got brought through space-time.
What?
Yeah, he wants to meet God so badly he made a deal with the devil. Sure, that's how that works.
That seems counterproductive. What the
His hair's
shit?
so stupid. I hate his hair so much.
What the shit? Whateth the shitteth?
Exactly, yeah.
What is this? What is this? Frickin' bat ears in his hair.
Why are you... I don't know, man. It
did give us a really good. It did give us a good remix of Cynthia's battle theme.
Pokemon Wielder.
Yep,
Okay.
and he's using Cynthia's team.
Nice follow through on that throw, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's still very, very easy for where you are at this point in the game, but, you know.
Pokemon single player content rarely ever gets any higher than level 70, and it hurts my soul.
Plus, by this point, you have a full team of legendaries that you can use. So,
Well, I mean, like, the only battle off the top of my head that I can think of that went into the really high levels was Red.
There's also the Barry rematch in Platinum, but yeah. The thing is that they want you to do endgame fighting being like competitive style fighting. So they have most of the endgame content be stuff like the Battle Frontier that sets your Pokemon to level 50 or 100 anyway, like they would were you doing Link battles. Which, I mean, I get, but again, I do think that there's a substantial portion of the player base that only plays these games
That would
single
actually
player.
like to use the levels 51 to 99, please.
Yeah, it's... The thing is that I would honestly say it's probably the majority of the people who play these games only play them single player. The competitive Pokemon scene, like, granted, it is still very popular, but I doubt it's 1 in every 15 people who plays Pokemon is a competitive Pokemon player. Like, the single player content is the majority of the people's reason for playing it. So I agree in that, like, having some level 90 to 100 Pokemon fights for, you know, end game content would be pretty cool.
I think it would be nice if they had, like, an actual protracted endgame level, like, conclusion quest to wrap up the single player story with. Not, like, as a conclusion to the main plot, but as an epilogue, you know?
Yeah, and there's, like, some small things that are like that in some of the games. Like in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, there was the Team Rocket thing, the Rainbow Rocket thing.
Well,
which was like a fun nostalgia trip, but ultimately, like, there wasn't like anything too high leveled there. I think like Giovanni's team maxes out at like level 80. Hold on.
I had this like idea in my head for a Pokemon game where you have this arc with your rival.
No, never mind. It's like Giovanni's like level 70.
Of
Never
course.
mind.
I had this idea for in my head for like a Pokemon game where you had an arc with your rival, and they would drop out of the story at the usual point after a level 60 to 70 showdown, and then you would do all the post game stuff and all of that, you know, but then afterward, you know, you'd have a chance to fight them again, and they would be actually like legitimately max leveled.
Yeah, the closest they get to that is the Barry refight in Platinum, and
Which is level what?
He's roughly Red's level from
Yeah.
from Gen 2. And I mean, I granted, I understand that like in Gen 2, I don't know, they just picked levels that they thought were high at that time, but I think that, you know, if you're fighting like a legendary trainer of that caliber, it would be neat if like all of his Pokemon were level 100, you know, like just to show that he truly was like the strongest trainer in the world or whatever.
Yeah. Well, regardless, right here we have Volo.
I've devoted myself to Arceus so much that I fucking made a deal with the devil. I don't get it.
Oh no.
It's just like his face when he was doing that. He was just like, huh? Huh? Huh?
Am I about to meet your hair gel supplier? Because I really don't wanna.
Dude, hairdressers in anime worlds must make a killing. Oh look, they actually animated stuff for once.
I know, right? For something that's technically optional.
Well, technically the whole game is optional, but you know.
Well, yes, but
I've never liked this design.
Oh, for Giratina, yeah. Is it Giratina? Giratina? I don't know.
I don't
Whatever.
know.
I think it's Giratina, but I don't really care.
So I know you get it in the upside down worlds in Platinum. Remind me, in Base Diamond Pearl, what do you
I don't think
do?
you get. I don't think you get it in Base Diamond and Pearl.
Hold on.
Those frickin' 6 doofy legs. What the?
Yeah, hold on. Let's just check. Let's check the wiki.
Yeah, Giratina is actually pretty strong.
Yeah, it can take more than 2 hits. Impressive.
I know that they don't like to do this in Pokemon, but I think they should, for legendary fights against the actual Pokemon, make their stats higher than when you catch them. I know that that would probably involve some, like, some coding shenanigans that they would have to do. But ultimately, I think that it would make the fight more interesting if they did it.
Asking
like that.
Game Freak to code.
I think if they did that, players would cry foul, though. Like, they fight this super strong Pokemon, they want it to be just as super strong when they use it.
Oh, you have to go to Turnback Cave, so it's like just a tiny dungeon that it's in, and it's at the bottom of it. It's like a bunch of rooms with the rock smash puzzles that you
Gotcha.
have to get through.
Also, just note you cannot catch Giratina here. You have to defeat it.
I forget what happens if you try to throw the ball. Does it like just tell you can't?
I forget I don't try because I know not to.
Yeah, I think the implication is that Volo's using it, which is why
Yeah.
he's standing back there.
Yeah.
So if this is a special you can't catch it fight, then they might have actually done that where they upped his stats.
Oh, big finish.
Except, not really. Are you ready for round 2?
Oh.
Listen, we made 2 forms with this guy. We want you to see both of them.
Oh, that's right. Giratina has. Right.
And it's kind of a beast.
Yep. That's a loss. Alright, what's the connection between the two other cover legendaries and Giratina again?
There's
There's not really one, which is kind of the weird thing. Like, the Dialga and Palkia are the Pokemon of space and time, and Giratina's kind of just, like, evil. So, actually, hold on a moment. Let me check something real quick. Because I have the thing open, so I might as well check. It's a Ghost Dragon type Pokemon. Yeah, it's just kind of around in his dick. It's not really like in charge of anything as far as I can remember. If I'm wrong, the comments will tell me how I'm wrong. But yeah, so it's more of a foil to Arceus than it is connected to Dialga and Palkia. Which is, again, part of the reason why the legends in the Sinnoh games never really stuck with me, is because they feel so disjointed. It's like you've got the Pokemon of space, the Pokemon of time, literal god, the devil, emotional Pokemon, a guy who lives in a volcano, the Pokemon in charge of the legendaries from the last game, some like moon thing. They all just feel very disconnected. And I mean, granted, yes, a lot of Pokemon can feel disconnected. Like, what do 3 elemental birds have to do with a science experiment? Or, whatever. Or like, what do the Regis have to do with Latios and Latios? Not much. But this game puts a lot more emphasis on the legends than many of the other games in the series. And so it's just sort of a strange pantheon, for lack of a better word, that doesn't make much sense to me, and that I never really had much connection to. Partially just because I don't like their designs an awful lot, but also partially just because I don't find their lore all that interesting.
Oh, okay. So he's doing that thing that anime villains do, where they wax lyrical about their existential crisis, and then
Except that, like, this all comes out of nowhere, and he's just been kind of this guy who's around before this, so it really doesn't come to much.
high item that was in Gen 4, but you couldn't use because the game didn't actually let you use that in the event.
What?
Yeah, you were supposed to be able to get this in the event for Gen 4 to get Arceus in the first place, but they didn't use the event for whatever reason and just gave you Arceus. Like, it was a random mythical.
Oh.
So that's a nod to that. The item in the event are still in the code, so if you Game Shark it in, or Action Replay it in, you can play the event, which is interesting. So why they didn't use it, we don't know.
I think you can only officially get Arceus in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, if I remember correctly.
I'm not entirely sure.
And yeah, and now Arceus is like, bitch, did you complete that Pokedex?
Nope.
And you need to do that before you can actually catch him.
Which means you need to actually catch Giratina, huh?
You need to catch Giratina and the rest of the Pokemon you might have missed, including the Unovan genies are here, including one extra one, which I neglected to mention for some reason.
And you can't. I think you also have to have them like marked in the Pokedex too. Like, you can't just catch one. You have to have it like fully examined in the Pokedex.
Yes, you do need to complete its Pokedex page, correct?
Yeah, so that means that, like, you can't just catch a Parasect. You have to have a Parasect use a certain amount of moves, or watch it do a certain amount of things, or feed it enough food, or whatever. So at this point, it enters the busy work section of the game, which is, everyone's favorite part.
So because these Pokemon all act the same. I only show the new one.
These guys are a pain in the ass.
What the?
It went behind his leg. Why they chose that angle, I don't know.
This is a pre-rendered scene, not pre-rendered, but like
it's a pre-cut scene.
Yeah, they should have been able to see that. Oh my god! But yeah, these guys are a pain in the ass.
I'll show the last one, but I got the main 3 off screen.
Yeah, we don't need to see this 3 times.
4 times technically.
It's another one of those things where you go to 3 different places and do the same general thing, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, they like kind of, you'll see, but they like swoosh around and
you have to chase them, and they're a pain in the ass.
They have these like whirlwinds or other things going around.
For Genie.
Oh, this guy. Okay, the genies in Gen 5 have always not had the best design and have been really random. But this thing just looks dumb.
I don't know. That design's making me making me feel kind of uncomfortable. The more I look at it,
Yeah,
it's just weird.